In progress.
All right. Hopefully you all can still hear me. Let's see.
Feedback.
Yeah. How about that?
You have to, that alternate device, you should just mute the mic on that one or the speaker.
Yep.
Now
I just turned it all down.
there we go.
Yep. All right. So we're recording. We're ready to go here. My name is Patrick Muscat with Axon Justice. Welcome, everybody. I am a professional services manager. I've been with Axon approximately 3 years. Prior to that, I was a prosecutor in Detroit for about 30 years, so I practiced law myself. Today, I'm going to walk you through using an Axon Justice disclosure portal. And that is a secureevidence.com site that's used for digital evidence management. It's a place where you can log in and review your evidence that's shared to you from the prosecutor and download it. So let me give you a little bit of background about digital evidence management systems and the workflow in your particular jurisdiction. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. And as you can see here, I have a workflow. This is an average workflow for a county using Axon Justice tools. So first of all, what is Axon Justice? Axon Justice is a product that people can purchase, which will give them a secure digital evidence management platform. It's a secure website where prosecutors can review digital evidence and also share it out to the defense. It's not just for prosecutors, by the way. Also, there are many public defenders that purchase Axon Justice, including the public defenders in New Jersey also have their own Axon Justice account. But one of the features that you get with an Axon Justice account for a prosecutor is what's called a disclosure portal. And that is a e.com site that can be built for use by private or retained counsel at no cost. So that's what we're going to train you on today. So all of the participants on this call, it's my understanding, are private counsel in the area that may take appointments or retain to cases in Monmouth County. So as a result, you have free access to a disclosure portal. So I'm going to train you all on how that works. Just to complete the process here on the front end, this workflow, these boxes represent different police departments. So when evidence first gets collected, it's collected by the police, and then it's shared over to the prosecutor, and then the prosecutor can then share it to you as well to your disclosure portal. So the address for your disclosure portal, if you haven't already set up your account, you do need to get an invitation from the prosecutor to set it up, but that would be the address or the website for your disclosure portal. So once you get...
Pat, I would just like to point out, hi everyone, this is Christine Bucko, the Axon Administrator for the Prosecutor's Office. After the meeting today, probably starting tomorrow and next week, we will send out the invitations. We didn't want to do it before your training. And then I also wanted to point out that Axon is only for digital evidence. Your paper discovery will still be received in the same format as it was before.
Can I ask a question? If we have Axon through another prosecutor's office, is it a completely different portal from Monmouth as opposed to Ocean?
Yes.
So we'd have to sign up for the Monmouth one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, separate accounts. All right, so when you do get an invitation, it'll come to you from Axon, and you'll have 7 days to set up your account. So once those start to get sent out, make sure you check yours. You will have to create a password and a multi-factor authentication. And then when you log in, you'll see this screen here. So these 3 tabs that I have open on my computer right now are 3 different websites we're going to talk about in today's training. Starting with yours, this is what's called a disclosure portal. And as I mentioned, yours has that mcponj-discovery.evidence.com. So once you set up your account and you log in, you see a list of all the cases that have been shared to you. And you can then access the evidence within those cases, view them in the cloud for 90 days, and then download that evidence. But before we get there, let's just talk about briefly how the evidence gets to your office. It begins with the police. The police upload evidence and they share it to the prosecutor. The case gets, the case gets transferred, a copy of the case gets transferred to the prosecutor. And the prosecutor may add additional numbers because they have additional number data fields that the police don't have access to. So they can add a court number, a description. If they want, they can add the defendant's name, and they can even add tags or an internal number. All this information is going to transfer to you when they share the case. So in this case, you see the 10 items of evidence that match the 10 items of evidence from the police. And they shared the case to you. So when they share a case to your office, they get a disclosure log. The only thing that is in that disclosure log is a list of the evidence that they shared and the date and time they shared it. I do a lot of these trainings and I work with public defenders and private attorneys all the time. And I always get the same questions can the prosecutor see what I've done with the evidence that I've received? And the answer is no, they cannot. All they get is a list of the evidence that they shared to your office or to your site. And that's it. They have no access to what you've done with the evidence, how many times you viewed it, whether or not you've downloaded it, etc. They only have a list of the evidence that they shared. So once they share a case to you, you'll get a notification letting you know that the case has been shared, and it will show up. And your interface looks similar to theirs. It's not exactly the same as the prosecutor's, but you have all these different data fields. So whatever information the prosecutor added to the case, you have. And you, of course, have all the evidence that the prosecutor shared to you. In this case, there's 15 total items of evidence. Oh, excuse me, that's the wrong case here. It's this case the prosecutor shared with 10 total items of evidence. So you'll notice an expiration date. So the way the disclosure portals are intended to work is that they provide you temporary storage. Currently, that storage limit is 90 days, but that's going to move to 180 days in the next few months. That date gets pushed out at any point if the prosecutor adds new evidence to the case. It pushes out the whole case another 90 days. And if, for whatever reason, you did not download the evidence within this 90-day window, the prosecutor could reshare the case to you, so you have another 90 days. All right, so let's log in to this site from scratch. So when I'm ready to log in, I'm going to go hit sign in, and I'm going to type in my email and my password that I set up. And then I'm going to use a verification method. So there's multiple options that you can use, and I'll show you how you can set these up. By default, you can get a verification code sent to your email. So that's automatically set up when you set up your user account. But if you want to add a phone or an authenticator app, you can do that as well. And so if I have my phone, that allows me to get my two-factor codes, we call those multi-factor codes or two-factor codes, sent directly to my phone. So the very first time you log in, the only option you're going to have is to get that code out of your email. After you've logged in for the first time, if you click on your name, you can go to your profile. And under security, you can set up additional authentication methods. So if you want, you can set up, if you're familiar with Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator, you can set that up and it'll walk you through how to do that. It's very straightforward. You also can add a phone number. And once you add your number and you verify it, then you can get those two-factor codes sent to your phone if you want to. It's up to you. But you're always going to get those two-factor codes sent to your email as well. Once you've logged in, again, you see a dashboard of your cases. So these are all the cases that have been shared to me by the prosecutor. And what I can do here is go through these columns, and I'll explain each column to you. So again, you've got a court number, a police number, an internal number, which the prosecutor didn't use in this example, the defendant's name, the total file count, the date and time the last piece of evidence was received, and where it came from. So this is the prosecutor's site. And then any tags on the case. So if the prosecutor were to add a case tag, that tag would transfer. You see in some of these cases, the prosecutor had a tag on the case. And the thing that's relevant about tags is it's another way you can search for cases. So you can also add tags to your own cases if you want. But if a tag has been added to a case, as you can see here, I can search for all my cases that have that Blockbuster video tag. And then the date the case was created, the last time it was modified, and the owner of the case. When you receive a case, I like to open them by right-clicking and opening in a new tab, so it keeps my dashboard screen open. If I want to open another case, and it opens up that particular case. Again, once you see the case expiration date at the top, that tells you the case is completed sharing. So in other words, it is possible for you to log in and actually watch a case populate. And the way you know it's done is two different ways. One, this expiration date pops up, and you'll also get an email. The email doesn't come until the case is completely shared. And then you have these different fields here that you can look at here. These are the different fields, of course, that the prosecutor updated. You've got a workbench area here. You've got a share tab, and you've got evidence. So this particular case here has 10 items in it. And to open that evidence, I can select any one of these items, and it will open that piece of evidence along with the rest of the case. But I also can turn on the gallery view over here. And some people like to use this to quickly preview through evidence, because you'll notice it allows you a pretty good sized thumbnail image of the photographs. So if you want, you can preview up to 100 files at a time. And you also can use this filter tool here. And then you can even preview more images, because it'll just focus on the images in your case. But when you're ready to open the evidence, you can open it from either one of these screens by selecting the evidence. And it opens up to this Justice Viewer here. You can download an individual piece of evidence one at a time if you need to. And also, you can see on the right, you have all this data that's from the same columns that you could see from this view. So that's this information here. And then on the left, excuse me, you can make an object full screen too if you want. And then on the left, you can navigate through the other evidence in your case. So here's a video. You can watch the video. Here's another video. And then images and documents. Now, besides downloading evidence 1 file at a time, you can also download evidence 100 files at a time. If you select this button, it will select the first 100 items, and then you would go ahead and select the download option. And this will allow you to download those files. So what it does is automatically generates an email to your email account. And once that link comes through, I'll show it to you. And then I will download that evidence from that link. All right, let's bring over, here's an example of one of those links. So when you go to download, it will give you a link here where you can download a zipped package. When you download that zip package, I recommend that you extract it before you try to open it. So you can tell something is zipped by looking at it. And if you see a zipper in the folder, and it also under type says it's a compressed folder. So before you try to open this, you're going to want to right click it and extract. And that will allow you to extract that file to your computer. So let's hit extract all. And then off screen, it allows me to extract that file. So when you do that, you'll notice that it created a second folder. Right here, you can look at the last few numbers to match them up. And that second folder is no longer compressed. And you can tell that because there's no zipper in the actual folder. And then you can open that evidence, and that will have your files in it. So that's the fastest way, or the fastest method to download, is to download those files by sending yourself a download link. All right. Now, let me show you what happens when the police add new evidence to the case. If the police were to go into their case and add new evidence, these are the steps to do that. I'll just do this quickly to show you. When they add new evidence to the case, they'll get prompted to share that new evidence to the prosecutor. And then when the prosecutor gets that new evidence, they'll get an email notification once the new evidence is transferred. And they'll see that new evidence and they can share it to you. And then once that new evidence is completely processed, you'll get an email notification telling you that there's new evidence in the case. And it's already transferred. So now there's 11 pieces of evidence in this case. And you can see the date and time that that last piece of evidence came in. So you notice the majority of the evidence came in at 3 o'clock, and that last piece came in just a minute ago at 3:22. All right. Are there any questions so far? Because that's pretty much the process. You log in, you get a list of your cases, you open the evidence, you can view it in the cloud. You have 90 days, which will soon be 180 days, to download it, and then you'll also will get notified when there's new evidence added to it.
When we, if I can ask a question, when we
Sure.
go into our, I guess it's called the dashboard. I'm not really sure, but shows the list of all the cases that have been sent to us.
Yes, sir.
Once they're expired, are they still there or do they disappear?
Yes, no, they'll still be there. You just wouldn't have access to them. So you would have to either request that they be reshared to you in that scenario.
Right, that's what I mean. So if we miss it, if we miss the time and somehow we miss the whole download, if we go on there, it's still there. We realize we don't have it. We can request them to resend it.
Yeah, I should have some older cases. if you check in this box, you'll notice that there is a deleted and queued for deletion section. So you might have to turn on that deleted option, and then that shows you your cases that you no longer have access to, right? Like some of these here. And then you would just have to reach out to the prosecutor to have them reshared. But again, that 90-day period is moving to 180 days in the future. So when you search, thank you for pointing that out. By default, you won't see those cases. You just have to turn them on, turn on that tab or that pill there, and that will show you all the cases. So,
Thank you.
yep. See here. I just want to see, I don't recall off the top of my head if there's an automated pop-up that allows you to request it or if you have to do that manually. Yeah, you would have to do that manually. Once you see, you still have your audit trail of the case. This is internal to you only, which you can access on a case that's expired. But you would have to reach out to the prosecutor to have it shared. So to you again. I don't know exactly when that's going to move to 180 days. I believe it's over the next couple months. I can follow up on that. I picked that up from another trainer, so I'm not exactly sure when that time is going to occur. So I'll follow up on that. Let me make a note about that. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, if I could just ask one question real quick.
Sure.
All right, so I understand we keep our regular portals that we use at the prosecutor's office to get the documents. Here, this is just digital, but what about stuff like 911 tapes, that sort of thing? We would get audio through here then, right?
Correct, because audio is considered digital, so it will be your MVRs, your recorded statements, surveillance videos, 911s.
Okay, that's what I was.
Just paper staying the way it normally is.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, I may have missed it, but is the request the same way? We have to request it first before it's sent to us? I don't know if I heard that.
Eric, do you know how that's gonna work?
I believe once we know discovery is available, we will send the request. So you guys send the request through the e-discovery portal. You do that, we will make media available to you. If it's something like pick discovery, if we are making something available to you, we will send the request that way and you will get notified. But your initial question, no, you will not have to make a request through here. I don't believe you can. We will just make it available to you when we push out the discovery.
Right, because now, right, the prosecutor's office will say, hey, the discovery is available, go to the portal and ask for it. Then you go to the portal, you request it, and then you get it.
Correct.
And you're saying that now, if they say it's available, we can go right to the portal and get it, correct? Without
Well,
asking.
you'll be able to get the paper discovery, but then once you get the email from Axon saying that the audio or video is available, you'll be notified then that you're getting that as well.
So what it's gonna be is when you make your request in the e-discovery portal, when the paper discovery is pushed out, at the same time, our staff will then go into Axon and push the media to accompany it.
Okay.
I have a question if you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Are you able to share this discovery, this media with your clients, the defendants?
It depends on the permissions on how the site is set up. So it depends on how the site is set up by the prosecutor's office in that regard. Will there be sharing enabled on these sites?
I'm gonna have to check on that.
Okay.
The way I've always traditionally done it is once you download it, you can send it to the clients if it's permissible, as long as there's no protective order.
Yeah, and I showed you the methods for downloading the evidence there. Now, there are some additional materials that I can direct you to, and the easiest thing is just to Google Axon Disclosure Portal. I'll drop this link into the chat, but and I'll send it along with the video. But if you just remember Google Axon Disclosure Portal, you're going to get a guide here, a nice video, short 2-3 minute video on how to use it. And at the bottom, there's some frequently asked questions for disclosure portal users. So in addition to the video from today's training, you have these resources that are available on the web already. All right, well, I think that's it then on our end. So if there aren't any other questions here, I can end a little early. I appreciate everybody's great questions here. And hopefully this has been helpful. Again, when the video is rendered, I'll send it over to the prosecutor's office. And I'll also include some of the links that I've been sharing in the chat as well. So you have access to those additional resources.
This question is really for Eric. Eric, when are we going to go full blast with this for all of us?
Hi, it's Christine.
So-
We're gonna go live on August 1st.
August 1st?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
great.
so really starting tomorrow and next week, I'm gonna start pushing out the invites to the site, and then as Christine said, we'll begin in August,
Okay.
actually pushing everything.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And then as soon as I get the recording, I'll have it sent over to the bar so they can distribute the same way they did the invite for the training.
Okay, that's my question. How do they, you're sending an invite to all our members or?
Well,
Just the-
no, I'm gonna send the recording over to the bar, and the same way that Tracy sent out the invite for this training, we'll ask if she can send out the recording the same way.
You mean according to sign up?
No, the recording for today, from today's training session, it was recorded, and we'll distribute the recording, so if you need to rewatch it for a refresher, you'll have a copy of it.
Okay, my question, I understand that. My question was, you're just sending an invite to everybody?
Well, no, we took the list off of the e-discovery portal, and
Okay.
we're making accounts for a majority of them. I mean,
Gotcha.
if
Okay.
attorneys passed away, of course, we're not including them, but anybody
Retired?
retired or passed away, we won't include them, but everybody else, we're making accounts, and we'll send out invites that way.
All right, so that may be for our regular guys. What if we have counsel, co-counsel, maybe from other counties? Can we just send them to your office? Refer them to you, Eric, to get a set up?
Yeah, you can just send me an email and we can make an account that way.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I'm glad I could help. And again, good luck with everything.
I have a question before you leave. I logged on late. This
Oh.
you can only share with. You're not going to be able to share with detainees, right?
No, the recipient would have to have an email address where they can download material.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks for helping us. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Take care.